For you what success is. And I'll tell you why I define success this way. Number one, success is impacting the world with the investment of your personality. Now never forget this. I told you what I'm going to be sharing with you is something you would need the rest of your life. T.L. Osborne said, work on being, not on having. With what you are, you will have. Don't work on having anything. Work on being something. Your personality. Invest in your personality. And you can impact the world with the investment of your personality. That is success. So you're going to have to do something to you. There's so many who are crying out for a change of government, a change in the government, a change in the school, and so on and so forth. They are not your problem. We have to understand this. Of course, I do understand when leaders can pose a sort of a problem. But generally speaking, I mean, if you are intelligent enough to look at the whole world and look at so many things that happen in the world and what people call for, the changes people call for, you'd realize that they only make those changes to get into a worse situation. They change one government and get a worse one. And they don't realize what the problem really is. You cannot blame any system for your failure, because no system was designed for your personal failure. I want to talk to you personally now. Think of you as an individual. You cannot blame a system for your personal failures. You cannot blame others, other people, for your own failures. You must learn to hold yourself responsible. Hold yourself responsible. You have to determine to hold yourself responsible. When you say such and such a person is a responsible young man, a responsible young lady, what do you mean? You're talking about someone who can be responsible for his actions or her actions. Learn to hold yourself responsible, not someone else. It doesn't matter what situation you find yourself in. It doesn't matter. You see, where we find ourselves in life is never the problem. It's what we do with the situation that matters. It doesn't matter how you were born. It matters how you live the rest of your life. It doesn't matter how you were brought up by somebody else. Now you have arrived. What changes will you make? You're responsible for what you are today. Number two, success is influencing the world around you to think like you and aspire to your inspiration. I said that again. Success is influencing the world around you to think like you and to aspire to your inspiration. You become a success when you influence the world around you to think like you and to aspire to your inspiration. You awaken others to think like you. Why? Because you've made the right investment into your personality. You've built your personality. You've got some good thinking, some good ideas, and now you move to the second level of influencing the world around you to think like you. Not in things, in yourself. Success is in you. It's not measured by the things you have or you don't have. It's measured by your way of thinking, your thinking process. It's measured by the ideas you have, by the things you do, the words that come out of you. And when you have made that deposit, you make that deposit. How do you make that deposit? Yes, by listening to the right things, by reading the right books, by opening your mind and thinking. We'll talk about thinking in a moment. Thinking, using your mind. Using your mind. Because one of the principles of success is to look out for a need and think of how to meet that need. You think differently. A lot of people who say, well, I cannot afford such and such a thing. I can't afford it. No, you don't think like that. Because when you say, I cannot afford it, what you have done is to resign to failure. Your mind goes to sleep. Don't say, I cannot afford it. You ask, how can I afford it? There's a difference between the two. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go. There's a way that God wants his children to go. The Bible didn't say train up a child in the way you want him to go. Didn't say train up a child in the way he wants to go. He says train up a child in the way he should go. How should he go? First and foremost, you have to understand the character of God, the way he thinks. God is a great God. And then the first thing you try to make him understand is how to make the job, to get it, not to have a good job, be employed by somebody, to buy the job, buy the company, not to work for the company, to get it. So if you're there trying to do so well so you can come out and then get a good job, you're headed for the rocks. Can't you look around you? Don't you understand what life is all about? Can't you see it? The two types of people, the haves and the have-nots, the greats and the smalls, the rich and the poor. There's no middle ground. Make no mistakes about it. There's no such thing as average. The so-called middle class does not exist. It's a mirage. The middle class is actually well-decorated poor men. Refuse to be poor.